the apology she gave to Thomas 9 years ago. A backup party led by Holt is already arriving at the airfield, so Raya drags Thomas away with her in a plane. Thomas passes out and dreams of Jean before Raya wakes up to tell him to stop chasing her because she's doing all this to save people's lives. The reason why she's alive is that every 9 years when the moon sets, she can come back, but not for long. She doesn't want to explain more because Thomas needs to stop and go back home to his daughter, but since he refuses, Raya pushes him out of the plane and into the water. Thomas swims to shore and finds the crashed plane, yet no Raya in sight. In the morning, after Holt scolds him for being reckless, Thomas tells him they won't find Raya's body because she's most likely a time traveler from the future. 9 years later, in 2006, Thomas is digging out the grave of a man called Harold Nowak, whose death had been dismissed as an addiction, but Thomas now finds the 3 wound punctures on his skeleton. He has become so obsessed with the case that he left the force and became a private investigator to figure out the mystery behind Raya. He lives in his car and has a radio hooked to the police force's frequency in order to keep an ear out for any clues. Thomas has also began reading about the moon and its energies while looking for Dr. Rao, but he's completely disappeared. After checking Nowak's name on a list, Thomas visits the widow, who tells him Nowak used to run a white nationalist militant group. Nowak's ex, Heather, used to work with him, so Thomas writes her name down before asking for a list of the members of this group. This list is the connection he's been missing because on it, he finds the names of many of Raya's victims. Afterward, Thomas goes to pick Amy up at school. Nowadays, she lives with Holt and his wife, and she doesn't see her father much. In fact, she disapproves of his lifestyle. Still, she tries to tell her about any news in her life, including mentions of a boyfriend that Thomas doesn't remember even if he's met before. Then, Thomas drops Amy at her home, but not without giving her a birthday present, which is another charm. Unfortunately, Amy stopped wearing the bracelet ages ago, and Thomas didn't even notice. Next, Thomas visits Jean's grave before getting together with Holt at a cafe to show him the new clues he's found.